bad habit we had to break in Chapter 3. Here in Chapter 6, we have to break the bad habit of picking and doing nothing. You must develop the mindset that there's no such term as simply pick or screen in basketball. The word is always followed by an action like pick and roll or pick and flare or even slip the screen. And so our overriding principle in this chapter is set the screen, read the defense, and move where you can receive the ball.
Chapter 6 Contents. On your way to screen, score. How to set the ball screen. Reading defense to score. Screener summary. On your way to screen, score.
Read your defender on the way to setting the screen. If your defender anticipates a switch, then he may begin to cheat early. This creates an easy read. If you can see the basket over your inside shoulder, then your defender is cheating, leaving you an open path to the goal. Slip the screen. Maybe the term should be skip the screen. Forget about screening and cut directly to the basket.
How to set the ball screen.
Land in a 2-foot hop with your feet shoulder width apart. This is a reminder to be still and not set a moving screen. Straddle the defender's foot so that your shoulders and his shoulders form the letter T. Avoid moving your arms or your hips when you set the screen. It's a foul. To ensure that you don't use your arms, grab your own wrist and lock your arms down. Or consider using one arm down, one arm up, and squeeze your elbows together. You can protect your groin, your chest, and even your mouth. Sprint to screen. Getting there quickly gives your defender and the defender of the ball less time to communicate with each other and make early adjustments. If possible, approach the defender of the ball from directly behind for 2 reasons. First, he cannot see you coming in his peripheral vision. Now when you set the screen, you have the element of surprise on your side. And second, you can read any adjustment made by the defender on the ball and change your angle at the last moment. As an example, if your teammate tries to drive to the right and his defender adjusts to stop the drive, then you can quickly set your screen at an angle that allows the ball to go left.
Reading the defense.
If you don't make the defense adjust, then you haven't set a good screen. Let me say that another way for emphasis. You'll know you've set a successful screen if you make the defense adjust.
Read number 1.
If you set a good screen, then one of the adjustments by the defense is to switch. This is a scoring opportunity for you, the screener, if you can seal and roll properly to the basket. Now, I could tell you to reverse pivot, but there's an easier way to teach you that gets 2 birds with 1 stone. Here it is. Never break eye contact with the ball, and you'll wind up rolling correctly. Why does this work? First of all, you need to read what the ball handler is doing anyway, so why take your eyes off him or her? Second, if you never take your eyes off the ball, you're forced to open up correctly while reading your teammate the entire time. Now, if you stay low and wide, you'll make a proper seal, and with the defender on your back, you can safely receive the pass for the score.
Read number 2.
Besides rolling to the basket, you, the screener, must be able to spot a flare opportunity. Here's the read. If both defenders stop the ball from getting to the basket, then the screener must flare away from the action to create space and prepare to catch the flare pass. Get your body prepared for the shot ahead of time.
Read number 3.
Sometimes the defense is successful. They stop the ball from penetrating and prevent the screener from rolling or flaring. Don't give up. Be prepared to immediately rescreen. See if the defense can handle the screen 2 times in a row and at a different angle. You, of all players, should be eager to rescreen. Doing so will give you another chance to score.
Summary for the ball screener.
To summarize the fundamentals for the screener, if your defender cheats to help or lags behind, slip the screen. Straddle the defender's leg and get the good angle. Keep your feet still and lock your position. Keep eye contact with the ball and read the situation. Approach from behind when possible. If your pick is successful, then roll to the basket. If there's good ball penetration, then be ready to flare. Counter successful defense with an immediate rescreen.
Chapter 7. Scoring with screens away from the ball.
Of all the skills in the game of basketball, the techniques in this chapter might be the ones that get the least amount of attention and the least amount of practice. Most players never see them in a pickup game or on the street. The only time a player might see them is in an organized practice or game, and many times only one or two of the 4 scoring options are emphasized. Now, just because that's the case doesn't make it the rule. You can and should use these skills in your pickup games because you'll score more points. In fact, see what happens to your 3-on-3 game when you have the rule that the player with the ball can only dribble once. Now, instead of standing and watching the player with the ball go one-on-one, the 2 players without the ball must learn how to screen and cut for each other. Suddenly, all 6 players are playing the game instead of just 2. Sooner or later, you'll reach a level where the defense is so good that you have to use a screen away from the ball just to get open. Now, I don't know about you, but simply getting open has never excited me. Getting open to score, however, is another matter. These screens might occur on the ball side or on the weak side, or neither if the ball's in the middle of the floor. You may be in the low post breaking out or on the perimeter making a basket cut. You might be receiving the screen or setting the screen. You'll have to keep an eye on your defender, the defender of the screen, and the ball. This chapter will require you to use everything you've learned up to this point. The development of the skills in this chapter will truly separate you from the majority of players. The first half of this chapter details how to score as the cutter when someone else is setting the screen for you. I'm going to take one type of screen, the down screen, and teach you how to read and counter all the ways that the defense will try to stop you. Once we've established clear-cut reads and principles for beating the defense using the down screen, we'll quickly and efficiently apply those same reads and principles to the other 3 types of screens, the back screen, flare screen, and away screen. Then, in the second half of the chapter, we'll look at 3 principles for scoring as the screener.
Scoring as a cutter, the down screen.
The down screen is coming from above the cutter. The screen is going to be set here. The desired spot for the cutter to receive the ball and shoot is here. The screener always sets his screen with his back pointing to the primary spot where the cutter wants the ball. If the screen works as planned, the cutter will be open in this primary spot.
Game examples. Cutter principle number 1.
The first thing for the cutter to do is set his man up to be screened. In this case, he takes his defender below the line of the screen. If you're already inside or near the basket, then your defender is already below the line of the screen. Now, there's no need to be in a hurry. You can take your defender slowly into the screen. If he cheats toward the screen, use a change of speed to cut to the basket for a layup. Watch the cutter in this clip use the thread of the basket cut to set his defender up. He sees his defender cheat